This is the activity on square numbers. The objective of this activity is to investigate the square numbers, understand the geometrical representation of these numbers, and derive the pattern using some observations. So let's first understand the concept behind these square numbers. As the name suggests, the square numbers are somehow related to squares. So if you have a square of side 1 unit, then this is simply 1 square. So its area 1 times 1 will give you 1. And so 1 is a square number. Likewise, if you increase the side of this square to 2 units like this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit. Similarly, this is 1 unit and this is 1 unit. You will have 2 units along the length and 2 units along the width. So how many total squares are contained in this big square? It is 2 times 2, that is 4, and therefore 4 is a square number. Likewise, we can keep on increasing the side of the bigger square, like we can divide it into 3 parts and have how many squares? It will be 1, 2, 3 along the length and 1, 2, 3 along the width. So how many along the length? 3, right? So 3 times 3, that will give us 9 small squares inside this big square. As you can see in the figure here, I am marking them by these ticks. So 9 happens to be the next square number. So do you find a pattern here? 1, 4, 9 and so on. Can you tell me what will be the next number in this series? Yes, you got it right. It is 16, which is 4 times 4, or which is 4 square. So the general formula for finding the square numbers is n square. So if I want to find the 10th square number, it will be 10 square, which is 100. That is the concept in this particular activity. To conduct this activity, the material required are, we need a graph paper, because on a graph sheet it is easy to cut squares. Then the general aids like a ruler and the markers and the colored pencils, they will be required to conduct this activity. Let's see how we can actually conduct the activity on square numbers. So in this activity on square numbers, you can see I have taken a small square here, and this square has a side of 1 unit. It can be 1 centimeter or 1 inch. So this is 1 unit. Now in the observation table, you need to first take the side length n as 1 unit, and then the square representation will be 1 into 1. Why? Because the length and the width of this square is both 1. Now when you multiply 1 and 1, you will get the total number of tiles. So we have only 1 tile here. So 1 into 1 is 1 only. And if you want to verify that using the formula is n square. N stands for this number 1. So here 1 square will be 1 itself. And so 1 is the first square number. Now if I want to extend this activity to another square, you can see here this square has been divided into 4 small squares. So if I keep it here or paste it on a white sheet of paper, I have 2 units along the length and 2 units along the width. So the side length now becomes 2 and the square representation is 2 by 2 or 2 into 2. Now if you multiply 2 and 2, you will get the total number of tiles. As you can count inside this, you have 4 small squares. So 2 into 2 is 4. And how do you derive it using the formula? We just have to do 2 square, which is 4, and 4 becomes the next square number. Likewise, you can keep on increasing the size of the square. You can see here, this contains 1, 2, 3 along the length and 3 along the width. So if you count the total number of squares inside this, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And so you can again paste it here and show that the length is 3 and the width is also 3. So what will you write in the observation table? It is 3 because the side length is 3 now. The square representation will be 3 into 3 and 3 into 3 is 9. So the total number of tiles inside this will be 9. So what is the next square number? It is 3 square, which is 9. Similarly, you can go on and make the square even more bigger. As you can see here now, I have taken 4 tiles along the length and 4 tiles along the width. So if you paste it and write the length of this side as 4 and the width of this side as 4, then you can see that this will contain 16 tiles. Now let's fill the observation table. You have 4 here and this becomes 4 into 4, which is the square representation, and 4 into 4 is 16, which is the next square number. Using the formula n square, it will be 4 square, which is 16. Now I have done this activity only up to 4 by 4 square. You can actually extend the activity to more such numbers. You can use 5 by 5 square and make more cutouts like this. And that completes our activity on square numbers.